Assalamualaikum and a very good day to our lecturer Sir Muhaymein, fellow peers and audience. Hi and welcome to our video. Today, my team and I from Group A will be reviewing about the pros and cons of e-learning. We will be covering from the perspective of both students and respectable teachers and educators. So, without any further delay, let's get into it. As you may or may not know, e-learning was introduced in November 1999 by Sir Elliot Macy. It was the first time the term was used in a professional context. With the introduction of the computer and internet in the late 20th century, e-learning tools and delivery methods have expanded since. Then, in the following decade, virtual learning environments began to truly thrive, with people gaining access to a wealth of online information and e-learning opportunities. Even though the world has become hyper-connected and internet penetration continues to increase and rise every year in Southeast Asia, like many other developing regions, still struggles with the adaptation of e-learning, as a large segment of the population still does not have access to the internet and electronic devices. Nevertheless, governments across the world, including these still developing countries, have responded to the COVID-19 pandemic with cancellations of schools and universities, amongst other sectors, and implementing e-learning method to avoid masses from gathering as an effort to limit further transmission of the pathogen. So, what exactly is e-learning? E-learning is learning by utilizing electronic technologies to access educational curriculum outside of a traditional classroom. It is specifically delivered via the internet. Therefore, devices such as videotapes, CD-ROM, DVD, and television channel is not considered as e-learning. E-learning is interactive, that you can also communicate with your teachers as well as other students in the class, even though you guys are not in the same place, just like a traditional classroom. However, even though e-learning can be seen so much effortless compared to a traditional teaching, nonetheless, there are still disadvantages to it. So now, let's take a look at the pros and cons of e-learning.
The advantage of online classes for students. The first one, online courses bring education right to your home. Online students often find that their family and friends get involved in the course. Oftentimes, a student will study with that special someone present. Children may take an interest in the online environment. Parents may look over the shoulder of an online student while they are surfing across the web. In short, everyone in the household gets involved in learning. The second one is online courses teach you to be self-disciplined. Perhaps the greatest foe of online courses is procrastination. Most of us instructors include put off the things we need to do until the very last moment. When it comes to education, the last moment is the worst possible moment to learn. Sometimes that lesson is learned the hard way in the form of poor performance on an exam or assignment, but ultimately you succeed because you realize the importance of doing things on time or even ahead of time. That self-realization propels your success in an online course. No one is there looking over your shoulder to tell you to go online and study. No one is there to make you ask questions or post response. The motivation to study in an online course comes to you. It's something we call student-centered or active learning. The online student takes responsibility for their course of studies and matches into an individual for whom learning and accomplishment are highly valued. In short, your success depends on you. For the last one is online course give you a real world skill. When you complete this course, you will be able to include email and web browsing as technical skills on your resume. That gives you definite advantage over someone who does not have these skills. Learning how to get information via the internet opens up a world of possibilities for your personal and professional life. You can find jobs online, get college applications online, make travel plans online, get dealer cost forecasts online, comparison shop online, access great works of art and literature online, meet people from around the world online, follow sports and movies online, and so on. The possibilities are practically endless. The next advantage is online courses connect you to the global village. No technological invention in the history of man has connected the people of the world like the internet. While there is still a harsh disparity between those who have access to the internet and those who don't. The mere fact that any of us can communicate across the globe speaks to the importance of this medium. Many times, the websites you visit in a course will be based in another country. What better place to find out about the works of Michelangelo than to go to Italy? Virtually, of course, what better way to learn about the Amazon rainforest or the history of China or the customs of Islanders in the so specific than to visit those places online. And if you participate in global learning days or other online events, you may even meet and make friends with someone in another country. It is a small world after all. Thank you.
Based on Merlot Journal of Online Learning and Teaching, online learning is refers to web-based training, e-learning, distributed learning, internet-based learning, web-based instruction, cyber learning, virtual learning, or net-based learning. Online learning is a subset of distance education that embraces a set of technology, application, and learning process, including computer-based learning, web-based learning, virtual classroom, and digital collaboration. Additionally, it takes the form of complete courses with access to content for just-in-time learning access. This definition encompasses delivery of course content via electronic media, including the internet, intranet, extranet, satellite broadcast, audio or video tapes, interactive TV, and CD-ROM. From the definitions, we can conclude that online learnings depend on computer and internet web. As we all know, the educational system operation all over the world was disrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic, which causes the government to introduce online-based learning. The question is, what is the disadvantage of online learning to students, both local students and international students? Based on the journal, a collaboration of Chester and International Forum of Educational Technology and Society, the disadvantage of online learning towards the international student is the existence of culture difference in online education through the external identities. It happened because of the clashing of two different systems of learning between Eastern and Western. Eastern education is group-based, teacher-dominated, centrally organized pedagogical culture with examination as the essential way to define performance and compete for higher social status. Meanwhile, in Western education, the challenge a teacher or tutor as a part of the self-development process as dialogue and interaction are encouraged in the learning process. Second, the existence of the language barrier between the students. This topic has become an issue between the students. To overcome this problem, the students suggest that the professor give the course schedule and materials before the start of the course or lesson so that they can prepare. The student also appreciates this professor who made efforts in providing audio and video aids, which only help the students to understand the course content, but also allow them to review the content frequently to overcome the problem. On the other hand, based on center time, the local student also facing various problems through online learning. The major problem is students require strong self-motivation and time management skills to be able to catch up in online learning. Lack of self-motivation among students continue to be one of the primary reasons why the student fails to complete online courses. In traditional classroom, there are numerous factors which continuously push students towards their learning goals. Face-to-face communication with professor, peer-to-peer activities, and strict schedule all works in unison to keep the student from failing off track during their studies. Besides that, online learning can cause limited online student feedback. Students completing regular assessment become dissatisfied when they experience a lack of personalized feedback. The traditional method of providing student feedback don't always work in an e-learning environment. Thus, making online education providers have to look towards alternative methods for giving feedback. As the conclusions, there is a lot of disadvantage in online learning education towards students. So, to overcome this problem, it is depend on the student on how to solve it. Just as you were from Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world.
So, we have heard about the advantages and disadvantages of online learning for students. Now, I will be talking about the benefit of online learning for teachers and educationists. I have done my research and I have found three major benefits for teachers. The first one is it is more flexible for teachers. The second one is it is more time saving. And finally, the third one is it is a way of a future education. Firstly, the flexibility of online learning classes will benefit the teachers and educationists. As we all know, before the COVID-19 spread, the school process is tied to a timetable of its own progress. So the teachers must follow all of the timetable that were provided for them. But with online learning classes, teachers are not fixed with this timetable. The online classes can be conducted at any time suitable for the teachers or for the student. Other than that, online learning can also be conducted with various ways. For example, the live meeting and also the online discussion. This is far from the old-fashioned school where you must physically interact with students. As for example, the live meeting session is when the teacher conducts a live virtual meeting with the student with the camera open as an attendance. And the next one, the online discussion is the teachers can give homework online to students, and the student can send the homework to the teacher back via email or WhatsApp or anything other online communication apps. Secondly, online learning classes also help the teachers and educators to save more time. As we all know, before the spread of COVID-19, we must attend school physically. In order to do that, we must face many obstacles to come to school, whether for the teachers or to the students. But for online learning classes, many of the obstacles can be avoided. For example, the teachers have no need to face the heavy traffic during the morning to come to school. Other than that, the teachers also have no need to rush for the classes so that they will follow the school timetable. This can save more time for the teachers. The other point of this benefit is online classes can be set up in only 5-minute period, so it can help teachers to save more time for their other work at home. So as for the conclusion, online classes has really saved time for the teachers and educators. Finally, the last benefit is online learning classes help the teachers to conduct a new way of learning as for the modern society. By conducting these online learning classes, teachers have the opportunity to make use of every gadget that mankind created, for such as the laptop, the Wi-Fi, and also handphone as mobile gadget. As we all know, this is the new way of teaching. This can give the teachers and the students the option whether to come to school or to do it online, so it will not burden anyone. Next, online learning classes is more efficient when it comes to save nature. As we all know, before this, to conduct the learning process, we must have many utilities such as papers and pencil. But today, when we conducting a live meditation, all we need is just a quick connection of the net and a gadget. So this can help us to save the environment, as we don't need to cut trees to make papers. This can benefit the future generation as they can enjoy the environment peacefully. As the conclusion for my part, online learning classes does have benefit for teachers and educators, such as the time saving, the flexibility, and also the modern method of teaching. I also believe that we have many more advantages that can be obtained if we continue this online learning session. Finally, I believe that online learning classes does not only give the teachers and the educators the benefit, but also it helps the parents at home. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Despite all the given benefit of e-learning, one cannot deny there are some drawbacks. First and foremost, e-learning can cause social isolation. The e-learning methods currently practiced in education tend to make participating students and teachers undergo contemplation, remoteness, and a lack of interaction. As a result, many of the teachers who spend much of their time online can start experiencing signs of social isolation due to the lack of human communication in their lives. Social isolation coupled with lack of communication often leads to several mental health issues such as stress, anxiety, and negative thoughts. Next, online teachers tend to focus on theory rather than practice. Although this drawback of e-learning is starting to be addressed and fixed by some of the more innovative online learning platforms, the problem has yet to disappear completely. The problem is that a large portion of e-learning training providers choose to focus largely, in many cases entirely, on developing theoretical knowledge rather than practical skills. The reason for this is evident. Theoretical lectures are considerably easier to implement in an online learning environment than practical lectures. After all, without face-to-face communication and physical classrooms to use as a workshop, implementing practical projects in an online course requires significantly more prior planning than theoretical training. After that, e-learning is limited to certain disciplines. All educational disciplines are not created equal, and not all study fields can be effectively used in e-learning. For now, at least, e-learning tends to be more suitable for social science and humanities rather than scientific fields such as medical science and engineering, which require a certain degree of hands-on practical experience. No amount of online lectures can substitute an autopsy for medical students and real-life industrial training for a building engineer. While this could change in the future, teachers are currently not yet at a point where they can fully teach all professions solely through e-learning.
The fact is that there will always be both pros and cons to everything. Even in medicine, there are treatments and surgeries that can help to save your life, and however could potentially come with a downside as well. Therefore, it is up to you. You have to decide. You have to analyze both the pros and cons factors, which contribute greatly to making an informed decision about the direction of self-path in the future. You have to decide how to accomplish your goals, online, in the classroom, or both. When strategically and properly implemented, e-learning has the potential to change the game for anybody who has a clear target in what they aim for. That is all from us. Thank you for watching.